Try and stick to the planning and the correct methods. Sure, I will. 30 meters. Work as a cleaner in a school for special needs children. I'm good at what I do and I take pride in coming in every day to make sure that both the children and the teachers that work there have a clean and safe environment to work in. Some backstory. Before I started working at this location in April 2022, they've had a lot of bad luck with hiring cleaners, as the branch we're in technically falls under specialized cleaning and not general cleaning. In the first 4 months of 2022, they've had 15 cleaners that all disappointed, stopped showing up or were fired for another reason. This has caused the general custodian of this special needs school, my direct supervisor, to be skeptical of any new cleaner that comes in, which is very fair. Now, I like to give 110% at work. Whether that's smart or not, I'm not sure, but I like to leave my work knowing that I gave it my all. That is why, when I saw the daily, weekly task list and had done an online course on how to effectively clean, I knew that in practice, that would leave a very messy workplace, since not everything would be cleaned correctly. Imagine a desk of a child that has a single eraser on it. According to my online course from the company, that disqualifies that entire desk for cleaning. I won't be allowed to clean it. Furthermore, if chairs are not at the desk, I'm now allowed to sweep or mop under it, because it's not the cleaner's job. As such, I've been making some really positive changes to my work schedule, daily, weekly task list and the way that I do things to not only meet the minimal requirements that my company asks for but also to go above and beyond, be flexible with the teachers, engage with the students and leave a beautiful workspace. This went great for a while. Now, the custodian has, for some reason, been getting way more critical of my work. The smallest speck of dust missed or a small drop of coffee spilt somewhere. That happened after I was done with work. And he's blowing up my phone with text messages that I need to do things differently, in a wasteful way, or telling me first thing when I come in that I need to take my work more seriously. This morning, he told me, try and stick to the planning and the correct methods. So I told him that I would. Now, I started to follow the paper list with daily tasks and my methods completely to AT. Every half-ass method that I knew would leave the classrooms and the bathrooms in a horrible state. Trash cans need emptying? Nope. Not on my list. One piece of paper on a filthy desk? No longer my problem. Spills in the hallways? Looks like mopping the floor isn't on today's task list. Sorry. The entire place looked horrible. I had to hold myself back to not do more than the list because I hate leaving work unfinished. But I was finally done. I approached the teachers of the classrooms that I had to clean today beforehand, explained the situation and promised them to give their classrooms a proper cleaning the next day, because they and the students shouldn't be the victim of my malicious compliance. But they were in on it. They even agreed to give their signature on my task list to sign off that they think I did all of the work correctly. Naturally, the custodian didn't like my work today, and we had a good heart-to-heart for a moment. I told him that I really appreciate that he wants to safeguard the quality of my work. It's what they pay me for after all. But I hope that I have shown him, and some teachers, that I go above and beyond daily. And that today's work, that looked like a mess, was my company's standard. I also let him know that the constant badgering was incredibly unmotivating. It was really putting a damper on my spirits. I told him that I'd be doing my work normally again tomorrow. And he said he appreciated all the work I usually do and that he'd try to be more flexible as well, and put more trust in me. All wells that end well, I suppose. I just want to make sure that these special needs children have a clean school to learn, laugh and play in. After all, the world doesn't appreciate custodians enough. And in a special needs classroom, where there may be more biohazard than usual. I salute you, sir or madam. You manage upwards magnificently. I bet he stops being such a Dorkalopoulos instantly, and maybe some therapy that's making him be such a nitpicker. And you better get some serious recognition for all your above and beyond work. They need you in management. I can't believe how constructively you handled that conversation with him at the end. You totally diffused the situation. I wish this level of emotional maturity was more common in adult humans. I'm going to be candid here. Your boss sounds like a jerk. No surprise that there's been a high turnover. Years ago I did custodial work for a company that made computer memory chips. They had a clean room. A speck of dust could ruin an entire batch of chips. So there were very strict procedures to follow when sanitizing the clean room. My boss knew this and that it took nearly an hour of prep time before even entering the room. My company was contracted out by various businesses, and if you finished at one location, the expectation was to go to the next client location. I got a new boss. He thought I was wasting time at the chip manufacturer because other clients with similar sized facilities could be cleaned in significantly less time. I tried to explain to my new boss why it took longer, but he would cut me off and told me to stop making excuses and insisted time spent cleaning at each client's site must take around the same time, or I'd be out of a job. I asked for what he expected in writing. That day I left a letter on the CEO's desk explaining that I would no longer be following their guidelines for sanitizing the clean room since my supervisor thinks I'm spending too much time in this room, and attached a copy of my supervisor's expectations. The CEO contacted our CEO and my boss got chewed out badly, with the owner then calling me and asking me if the next time I was told by a manager to do something stupid, to escalate the issue internally instead of angering any clients. It's great you got the message across, but it seems clear why your work has such a high turnover. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what proper management material looks like. If you stay on long enough to see that happen, I hope you not only get it, but you make sure things continue to go better. Furthermore, if chairs are not at the desk, I'm now allowed to sweep or mop under it, because it's not the cleaner's job. In my old job we had cubicles, and twice a week they'd come in, mainly one person, to vacuum. The chairs are on wheels and easy to push aside. Then a different person was doing this job. I started noticing that sections of my floor weren't being cleaned, mainly by noticing the occasional from a hole punch lying in the spot which I'd normally pick up if in easy reach. So I'd move my chair to under the desk or the middle of the cube and realized he wasn't moving the chair, as I said, on wheels and easily moved. So, guess who didn't get a contribution from me at Christmas? Normally we kick in a bit of cash for the cleaner. He also got replaced with someone capable of the Herculean task of pushing aside a chair as they vacuumed. Judging by how your supervisor tried to treat you, I might be able to guess why they went through 15 people in 16 weeks. It took courage to have that talk. I hope it has lasting good results. A supervisor who learns from his mistakes. What a unicorn. He's blowing up my phone with text messages. Is the company reimbursing me for my data plan, or are you going to supply me with a company phone? Quote. No. Quote. Then I won't respond to texts nor calls when they are work-related. Quote. That's how you play that game. I think is really cute you included the part where you two talked about it and solved the issue amicably. 100 points to Gryffindor. In the first 4 months of 2022, They've had 15 cleaners that all disappointed, stopped showing up, or were fired for another reason. My guess is that a main reason for this could be summed up in 2 words. General custodian. I wish I had you cleaning my room. Also a special ed room. Our cleaner only vacuums my room every few days. I know because I sometimes leave a piece of confetti or something on the floor to see how long it stays there. I once moved some things around and there were some dead roaches. I was annoyed to find them still there the next day. I had a planning period, so I went and found one of the other cleaners so I could borrow a vacuum. Instead of clocking out, they came and vacuumed my room for me. When they mentioned it to my cleaner, he came and told me off and said he had done my room. 2 big cockroaches still there means you did not. Things improved for maybe a week before they went back to normal. I often wonder if my aides and I didn't take such good care of our room. If he saw mess when he emptied the bin, he might vacuum more. Nice solution. I wish you cleaned at my work. I'm not only impressed by how you handled this, but feel those kids and teachers are extremely fortunate to have you as part of their team. You do awesome and important work. I'm a retired teacher, so I'm going to speak to the chair issue. When a custodian has 15 classrooms to sweep, moving student chairs can be a big deal. 15 rooms x 28 chairs each equals 420 chairs. Then add cleaning 4 restrooms, a couple hundred feet of hallway, 3 offices, a gym, and an entry foyer whose floor needed to be spotless according to our superintendent. The custodians asked us to have students put their chairs on top of their desks at the end of the day. Most teachers were pretty good at having the kids do that, but not all. But their rooms got swept anyway, and usually under desks and chairs anyway. When I did custodial work in college, the guy who hired me asked who I thought was the most important worker there. I obviously said janitor, as it was a leading question. What he said next, though, has always stuck with me. He asked if I would notice if there was no cleaning for a week, which I obviously said yes. Then he told me the dean had been out for 3 weeks and nobody noticed. So who is more essential? The guy who runs the place or the guy who takes out the trash? This is fantastic. I hope he takes the lesson to heart. And seriously, custodians are the best. As a father of 2 special needs kids, it's great to see someone go above and beyond for the kids and teachers like you do. Bravo.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.